Hi everyone, my name is Katrina Ingledrum and I am bringing you yet another high impact math strategy that you can use in your classroom. I am OPI's Math Instructional Coordinator and we're recording this for the MAST Memo, but I hope that teachers across all of the grade levels will find a little something they can take back to their classrooms today. Today we're going to be featuring the open middle problems. If you're not familiar with these were invented by Robert Kaplinski. Our purpose today is to just spend a couple minutes really introducing you to it. As you can see, they have these tasks from kindergarten to high school. You can also click on a grade and then see all the different domains that are available. So there's something in here for almost every standard. So these are really rich tasks that we can use to support a variety of learning of the practices and processes of mathematics to build proficiency. I'm going to pick a 5th grade task for us to look at today. No surprise to anybody, but most of our students struggle with fractions. So that's what we're going to look at. And I've got on here a topic on adding and subtracting mixed numbers. So this is not my task. This was submitted by an Eric Ulmer. How do we use the task? Basically, the premise of an open middle task is that there's always an answer that we're trying to work toward. There's always a structure to the problem, but there's a lot of entry points and a lot of solutions that students could engage in here. There's always some directions that involve parameters. This just puts a cap on how many solutions they can come up with and also gives them kind of a starting point. So we're looking specifically for an equation of adding and subtracting 3 mixed numbers that are going to give us 4 in the end. We would typically present this as perhaps an exit ticket or an entrance ticket for students. We might present this as a small group work activity where we give students the opportunity to maybe try independently and then work together to find a solution. We might also create a situation where we want students to generate as many responses as they can think of. There's lots of different ways to go about this, and they're not just limited to the couple of examples I've provided. Another component of this that you'll notice is that they always give a hint and they always give an answer. In this case, there are actually 360 possible solutions. So there's no shortage of responses that your students could come up with, which actually makes this really engaging for them because you as the teacher actually don't know if the answer that they came up with is going to work. Which puts the onus on the student to do and engage in that verification process. Another great component of these types of tasks is that they really meet students where they're at. We might have a student who is still really working on developing their awareness of mixed numbers and addition and subtraction. That student might strategically pick numbers that are easier for them to manage. For example, setting up a mixed number here of 2 1/4. Whereas a student who's more proficient or achieving mastery might see this as a challenge to come up with as many solutions as they possibly can generate. So you don't have to, as a teacher, build in that scaffolding for the differentiation. It's already in the problem, which is a beautiful thing for our teachers who are limited on time, but still want something that any of their students can engage with meaning. So these are really going to engage productive struggle in your students. They're really going to engage a lot of the mathematical practice standards and give students an opportunity to practice content standards that you would like them to gain practice on in their classroom. So I mentioned earlier that we can actually get students writing about mathematics here as well. They have these general worksheets that you can print off. Essentially, we want students to record their attempts and then maybe write what they learned about their attempt and how might they alter their strategy going forward. So this is a great thing for especially for our elementary teachers and our middle school teachers who are still really working with students on being able to write out a sentence or formulate an argument. So this kind of brings in that cross-curricular approach as well. That's my strategy. Once again, open middle. You can Google these. They're very easy to find, and there is a book on it. And more importantly, there's actually some online workshops and professional learning that you can take as well if you're interested. So hopefully you found something to take away and you're very excited to experiment with using this in your classroom. I hope your students love it. Again, my name's Katrina Ingledrum. So happy to share this with you. And until next time, enjoy.